Morning Joe Scarborough and Mika went to Mar-a-Lago to meet with Trump. And I have really mixed feelings about this. On the one hand, Donald Trump accuses Joe Scarborough of murder on Twitter, accuses him of murder. And this was a couple years ago, that aide that died. And Joe addresses that, and they kind of, are on TV every morning warning everybody about the dangers of Trump, and he's fascist, yak, yak, blah, blah. So I don't have a problem with them meeting with Trump. I just think it's chicken shit to not do it as a journalist on camera.
Right.
I think that's the chicken shit part. That is the total chicken shit. I think that journalists are going to have to meet with him. And we're going to have to get over this. Like, we're not going to allow this person on here or allow that person on there, because I think that that's what free press is. But to go and meet with him behind closed doors, I think is the most chicken shit move on the planet.
I agree completely. You're going to have to deal with him. You're going to have him on your program. You're going to have to cover him. But the fact that they didn't do an interview was a red flag. And then he got on Fox and humiliated them. He went on and on about how they came and kissed the knee. And because they didn't do an interview, there's no reason to think that that's not the case. Because why didn't they do an interview? Why didn't they show their viewers that they called him on some stuff and they asked him the difficult questions? And the only answer you can come up with is they didn't. And it was more in the vein of a personal kumbaya. And I was really disappointed. I'm with you, though. If they would have had him on the program and asked him tough questions, that's just part of it. He's the president-elect.
Yeah, and now some people within the Morning Joe stratosphere are trying to spin it that they were going down to save free speech. Get over it. Joe Scarborough and Mika cannot save free speech. And how you save free speech is you say, yes, we'll come down and we'll meet with you in person, but I want to ask you some questions. I want to ask you why you tweeted about me murdering somebody because Matt Gaetz gave you that information on a plane and then you went ahead and just started tweeting it. I want to ask you about your ideas and plans to appoint people that are accused of sexual assault. Does that not bother you? Oh, I forget. You're accused of sexual assault. So are we going to legalize sexual assault? Because it looks like, per your appointees, that's something that you might be interested in. And so I know that people are going to have to interview him, and I think that's a healthy form of journalism. And, make him uncomfortable, make him dislike you, but don't pre-surrender to authoritarianism. And that's what Mika and Joe did. They went down there and pre-surrendered. They should have said, we still have the First Amendment and we intend to use it, and we're going to shit talk you every morning. And we're not meeting with you behind closed doors. We're meeting with you on camera, and we're going to ask you tough questions. And if you don't like it, tough titties, don't do our program.
I completely agree. And how many times have any journalist, not just them, gone after President Biden, President Obama, all of the presidents? Part of the press and their responsibility is to show the public a different viewpoint and the opposition to the point that a politician makes. But it seems like no one is interested in doing that with Donald Trump. Obviously, Fox News gave up a long time ago, but it was a real shot that MSNBC, Mika and Joe from Morning Joe would do that. I was very disappointed.
Yeah, to me, it's just like, it's such a pre-surrender. It's so soft. It's like, if you really think this man is a threat, then go get him on camera and say a lot of journalists are scared because you're still pals with Steve Bannon. And Steve Bannon has been on his podcast saying he wants to arrest everyone that works at MSNBC. How do you feel about that? Do you want to arrest journalists? President-elect Trump, is that something you're interested in doing? Ask him the tough questions. But I think that's so soft. I think it's so chicken shit. And I have no problem with any journalist that interviews him. But don't be chicken shit. Don't pre-surrender to fascism and authoritarianism and go down. This is what he wants. It's just it is so incredibly soft. Okay, next up, I want to talk about Nancy Mace, who is a congresswoman. And she is making headlines because the first openly trans woman was elected to Congress. Her name is Sarah McBride. So Nancy Mace is now trying to pass a rule in the House that bans Sarah McBride from using the ladies' restroom. And here's what I have to say about all this. First of all, I'm a woman. And as they would like to, on the right, say, are you biologically born a woman? Can you say you know what a woman is? All of that is such bullshit. I have no problem if a trans woman uses the restroom that I'm using. Do you want to know why? Because I'm not a judgmental freak. But I do have a problem with the Catholic Church. And I do have a problem with the Southern Baptists. And I do have a problem with the Nazarenes. And I do have a problem with these Christian youth camps. And I do have a problem as a woman with Trump's appointees and turning a blind eye to very valid sexual assault allegations. And I have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with sharing a bathroom or a trans woman peeing right next to me. I don't have a problem if a biological man pees in a stall right next to me because I'm not some prude freak. I don't really care. I was in New York not that long ago, used a unisex bathroom at Bloomingdale's. There were men in there. There were women in there. Guess what happened?
Fucking nothing.
Nothing happened. This is this really weird bullshit that the Republican Party has made a mountain out of a molehill. Mm-hmm. Trans people are less than 1% of the population. And the Republican Party devotes billions of dollars attacking them, bullying them, and marginalizing them. The Christian right ignores all of the abuses of children and the cover-up abuses of children and the abuse of women at the top of the government in this new incoming administration. They ignore all of it, yet they claim the moral high ground because Nancy Mace is too chicken shit to pee next to Sarah McBride. Pumps, I'm always on the hunt for the perfect Christmas gift, something unique that the receiver thinks, oh my gosh, I didn't know I wanted that, but that's exactly what I wanted. That's why I'm so happy to share with you and the listener the great gift buying gem, Uncommon Goods.
I love Uncommon Goods because it has the best gifts for hostess gifts. I'm always struggling what to get for a holiday host. And it has everything I would want from book lovers to diehard sports fans.
Listener, when you shop at Uncommon Goods, you're supporting artists and small independent businesses. Many of their handcrafted products are made in small batches. So shop now before they sell out this holiday season. And with every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give back $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. They've donated more than $3 million to date. To get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/news. That's uncommongoods.com/news for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods, we're all out of the ordinary.
Nancy Mace she is so offensive. And for first of all, it's pointed and it's cruel and it's unnecessary. Like you said, it's less than 1% of the population of people that are trans. Why do you give a shit who's sitting next to you in a stall? Why do you have to demean people to make yourself feel better? And aren't there bigger problems in the United States Congress than who is going to which bathroom? I just find it so offensive.
So I'm glad you said, aren't there bigger problems? Because while they're doing this, while we're talking about Matt Gaetz, while Nancy Mace is being just an incredibly cruel bigot that isn't an elected representative for everyone, only certain people. Vladimir Putin just signed a new doctrine lowering the threshold for nuclear weapons. So all of this infighting, Matt Gaetz getting appointed, Hegseth getting appointed, these Fox News, the clown car, Joe and Mika going to kiss Donald Trump's ring, and all this crap, and Nancy Mace, I'm going to take on the trans community, when they're like, we don't want to fight, we just want to live our lives. While all this bullshit, this stupid surface level bullshit's going on, America is weak.
That's
we
right.
are weak for the first time in our lives on an international stage. And if it just impacted only our country, half of us voted for this crap. This is what they want. America first, America only, blah, blah. This is exactly what our adversaries want as well. Vladimir Putin has played the long game with this, and he has done psychological warfare through social media, the internet, infiltrating podcasters, infiltrating news stations, paying off congressmen, paying off senators, because he wants to tear up America from within. Do you think Vladimir Putin cares what bathroom people are using? No, he doesn't.
No.
Because he wants control over us. And he's been so successful that all of these same people that care about trans people and think that it's like the biggest, most horrific thing happening in America, they all, if you were to question them, do you think Vladimir Putin is a strong, good leader, a good person? They would say, well, yeah.
Right.
That's how successful he's been. So while the Republican Party is playing right in because they're so weak, they fall prey to all of these stupid wedge issues,
Right.
where they could show, if you're a big Christian, show your Christianity. Show me. Because I've never seen a Christian that's really shown me, like, God, I want a piece of that serenity. That looks good. Looks like you have a real moral compass, a real sense of inner peace. They're all so short-sighted and upset about gay people, upset about bathrooms.
Right.
I've never seen just this overt decency. I've seen the Catholic Church, everybody covered up. If the Catholic Church was a business, they would be put out of business. So over and over and over in American society, we show people you can abuse people, you can be corrupt, but it's okay, your institutions remain. And now we've just done that with the presidency.
Absolutely. And what's so scary about that is the Republicans historically put profits over people. That's a foregone conclusion. But the fact that now we've got Vladimir Putin making these proclamations, doing this in the world because he knows America's weak. And we've got Trump running around wanting to turn our military, let our military loose in the United States. Not to mention, I have heard, now I haven't seen any written paper on this, but I've heard that he wants to decommission or get rid of a number of high-ranking military officials, generals, etc., because he doesn't like them personally. And then you've got the Tulsi Gabbards of the world, who everybody, lots of
She's a Russian agent.
right.
Yeah,
Hillary Clinton said it.
She's a Russian agent. I don't think there's any question in the intelligence world that Putin flipped her, and she is a Russian agent. So while everybody's taking this bait, and if you look at the comment section, even in ours, it's like, are these women biological women? That's their big thing.
Right.
That's like, and it's like the lowest hanging fruit to the most marginalized of marginalized people on the planet, the highest suicide rates. And you see full governments enacting laws to bully this group. Meanwhile, while everybody's playing with this, shiny object and worried about restrooms, you've got all of these churches grifting, cover up of sexual abuse of children. And we have a president-elect of the United States appointing sex offenders to high positions of power, and Vladimir Putin's just sitting there machinating, watching the whole thing go down, thinking, yep, this is exactly what I wanted.
Oh, he could
And
not be
he
happier.
is lowering the threshold to launch nukes, because right now Biden's trying to help Ukraine as much as he can before Trump comes in. So, this is, I believe religion and Trumpism is the biggest cancer in people's personal lives. And then when you look at it as a nation, as a whole nation. And if you find me a person that is a Trumper and a Christ follower, that's a really genuine, good person, I'll pay you $1 million because I've never seen it,
Right.
ever.
They tell you how great they are, though.
Yep. All right, guys, we'll see you tomorrow.
It's so entertaining. Tap the vein. So